Oh, good evening indeed, William.
Good evening, Declan.
Good evening, Willie.
Good evening, Pat.
Good evening, William.
Good evening, John.
Good evening,
And
Willie.
good evening, Dan.
Good evening, Willie.
We have a lovely crowd in here this evening with your studio, and we'll start it off, and I suppose we'll have to. It is actually a nice scenic tractor run that's being done next Sunday, and I suppose Dan and Declan, you can talk about that first. Dan, where's it?
Yes, well, first of all, thank you for the invite to tonight's session, Willie. We deeply appreciate it to get the message out there of what we're doing. The tractor run is being done for the benefit of the Pitch and Putt Club in Millstreet. It being they're in existence 60 years, and we congratulate them on achieving that milestone, and well done to them. So, one of our meetings, we decided we do a vintage tractor run for their benefit, and that is taking place next Sunday. We're assembling at the daycare centre in Millstreet, and hopefully, all going well, the event will move out at around 12:15 or thereabouts, and we have what I would consider a beautiful scenic drive for tractor enthusiasts anyway, which will take us down the station road in Millstreet, turn sharp left after the station house, backless grey, turn right again and out on the main road, down to Duarrigal Bridge, back through a horn, up to Ballydaly Cross at Tim Minan's house, and down Colmarna, and retrace our steps back into Millstreet.
Yeah,
You have it.
That is a nice drive.
A lovely drive if we'll get any kind of a pleasant day at all. So we're looking forward to an enjoyable day, and looking forward to make it too well for the Pitch and Putt Club.
Well, yeah, it's what they call there as well. Sean, I suppose you're about the man that should know about this Pitch and Putt. Are you any good at it?
Oh, absolutely terrific. I'm afraid I haven't been playing for quite some years, but I had the honour at one particular time of winning a trophy, the Father Corridon Trophy.
Oh.
Once, just once, many years ago. But we're very honoured, William, to have with three wonderfully dedicated members, officers actually, here from the Millstreet Pitch and Putt Club, which amazingly is now celebrating its Diamond Jubilee. It's actually 60 years in existence. And of course, we have the wonderful Joan Casey, we have Pat Breen, and we have Declan Ryan here. So perhaps we'll go over to Pat there to start off.
Well, first of all, I'd just like to thank the Vintage Club for thinking of us and for helping us out on Sunday. I'd like to thank Dan and Declan and all the committee for considering us. And I'd also like to take this opportunity because, you know, we learn something new every day. I knew that Shawnee played Pitch and Putt, but I never knew that he won the Father Corridon Cup. So I'd like to congratulate Shawnee. That's great. It's like a few years ago. It won't happen again. But, well, the Pitch and Putt is 60 years old this year, as Willie mentioned there, and it was founded in 1964. And basically, the aim of the Pitch and Putt Club was to basically have a amenity there for people, you know, to keep them occupied in the evenings and for their entertainment. And I suppose it's worth mentioning as well that the town park actually owns the Pitch and Putt course as well as the rest of the town park. And we're deeply indebted to town park for allowing us to have the streets Pitch and Putt. And we pay them a nominal rent, and we're, you know, that's very important to state. But the town park was founded in 1958, and then in 1964, a group of people, which included Phelan Mann, who used to work in Buckley stores at the time, and there was another gentleman, John Cronin, who was in the IB Bank, and Coleman Conhan would have been involved. Coleman, who was vice principal of the community school for so many years, and then the late Johnny Keefe was involved, as indeed was Lon Triardon, who was an agricultural advisor, and my late father would have been involved as well in the beginning. And it started off, and it has through the years we've maintained the course, and of course it's an expensive job to do so, and we've always tried to keep the entrance fee at a nominal amount so that it could be afforded by all. And I suppose in recent years' time, we've been privileged to have had the old Ukrainian people next door in the Greenhams, and they've also availed it, which is lovely, you know, as well as some of our visitors who inhabit the Shan,
Yes.
As well as our own local people. So it's a game suitable for all ages,
Yes.
from 8 to 100, really.
Wow.
So I think the late Johnny Keefe is probably holds the unique record that Johnny won a competition at 80 years of age.
Wow.
So Shawnee, there's great hopes for you, I'm sure.
And for me.
And you know, we hear the voice here, thank you, Pat, indeed, and we hear the voice here of Declan Ryan, and it was Declan who was very much involved in Millstreet Vintage Club, as Dan would definitely know there. And Declan was suggesting that Millstreet Pitch and Putt would certainly greatly appreciate if there was one of the many different wonderful runs through the year. So Declan.
Well, I was very, very fortunate. I'm in the Pitch and Putt Club for the last 10 years, and I'm in the Millstreet Vintage Club, I suppose, for about 8 years. And there, at the end of last year, I just happened to mention it at a meeting that the Pitch and Putt Club that I'm involved in, I remember, is celebrating this special anniversary, and it was said that they look into it and that they'd talk about in the new year, because all the different runs and facility ardent runs and charitable things were allocated for that year. But sure enough, the club mentioned it there within the last 6 weeks that, right, Millstreet Pitch and Putt is on the cards and we're going to do something for them. And then fair play to him, decided that the run that he's running with Danny Healy, he said the money that's collected in that run will go towards the Pitch and Putt. And I was absolutely delighted. And so I contacted Pat and Barry and to tell them the good news. And from there, then it flourished and word got out. And so next Sunday is D-Day.
Absolutely.
And please God, the weather will be kind to us,
Yeah.
and we'll get a great turnout like we normally do. Up to, I suppose, is it up to nearly 100 tractors?
Right.
Wow.
Sometimes, yes, depending
On the weather.
on weather and everything.
Stuff like that.
Yeah.
But
And,
if we come somewhere close to that, we'll be quite happy. This time of the year is a hard time to predict how many tractors will come out.
yes.
So later on in the year, we might have a better chance because we'll have better weather. But this time of the year, we just don't know. That's the
Yeah.
chance you take. But I would be expecting a respectable turnout,
Yes.
and that it would be a fairly successful event.
And am I right to say, Joan, that and now we have gender balance because we have the wonderful Joan Casey here. Joan, that there will be an information stand for Millstreet Pitch and Putt Club so that people can inquire about the Pitch and Putt Club at the Canon O'Donovan Day Centre.
There'll be a few of us there to answer any questions that people might have, and we will do our best to inform people. Now, as I say, we're not a profit-making organisation. We're so thankful to Dan and Declan and the Vintage Club for even thinking of us. Nobody, we're not there, as I say, to make money. All we're trying to do is to provide a facility especially for children that are not GA players. You know, some people are not. They're not
Yes.
interested.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
we've had a crowd of women as well, it's lovely to see it.
Yeah.
And you know, over the course of the year, Barry Fraser does a lot of training, coaching with them, and it's lovely. There's no nicer place, Declan, as you always say, than being down there on a summer's evening and
Beautiful.
playing football. It's lovely.
And the range of competitions.
Yeah. As I say, we're not into making money. We try and break even. We don't ever have a whole lot in the bank, But this is
That's
absolutely
And
brilliant.
he can thank Declan now. Declan was the man that
Yeah, we are thankful. We are
And,
thankful. And then in the all the
Paddy Man now was a couple of hours of sunshine,
Yeah.
Sunday up to dinner time, and he'd be ready to go then.
Yeah.
But I just want to backtrack there, Willie. I think what Jonas said there a while ago is terribly important because, you know, for young people in particular that are not into hurling or football, it's great to have an outlet for them.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they're half isolated in society, and you know they have no what to turn.
Yes.
And like this is a way out for those people, and it's quite important that they're catered for, and that's why we're glad to be doing what we're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I suppose there's another aspect it now as well, that when the vintage tractors and things will be around Sunday, the youth will be able to see them too, and maybe get interested in standing near the corner someplace to
Yeah.
get a run through. You know, it could interact with the vintage club and suit them, which is a local thing that, you know, that they'd be maybe park him on a day or watch him go, like, you know, to give him an interest in vintage as well. You know, it might just at least to be another outlet for him as well, like, yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Vintage is a kind of an addictive thing, like when you get stuck into it, you just can't get out of it. And I mean, I know there'll be tractors inside there now on Sunday that could be 70 years old or 80 years old, you know.
Yeah.
And actually, I have a tractor myself that's older than me, and that's pushing it. Pushing it over there.
More than 21.
I'm afraid so. No, one of the fascinating things about it really is, you know, to see the care and the attention that their owners
That's true.
and the trouble they go to keep them absolutely pristine, you know.
Yes, yeah.
And the other thing is it is an education, because an awful lot of people, you see, it's like all the facilities with Millstreet. Far too many people take too many things for granted in a way, and we don't appreciate the lovely town partners there, the golf and putt club, and all the other things that are there, like that, you know, we can use for our enjoyment. But like the little grey Ferguson 20, that was the first real machine that did away with misery on farms. And to go back and see them now, I've often been to events and I've seen actually older women with tears in their eyes, and they say, I can remember the day my father bought that tractor home. You know? And that's one of the nice things about it.
Well, what I see there as well, in say there's one of in Millstreet as well. My first job was, say, when I drawing silage in a 1060 Nuffield for TT Holt. And whatever was in it, I see an Nuffield and I retracted it, and I said, it takes you back.
It does, yeah.
I'd say, I think I have about 10 pictures of me standing beside an Nuffield. And the next man being like, he might have upset her or something, and it attracts him to a total draw, like.
And if you remember, the last time it started at the Northern Day Centre, the famous Billy Coleman turned up.
He did, yeah.
And Billy was fascinated by the range of tractors that he saw on the day, particularly by one of the real vintage models that was there that day, I remember.
That's right, I see him examining a Forts and Dexter, like, which would have been late 1950s.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying, like, they're fascinating. I mean, there was no onboard computer, there was no press button, it was what you saw is what you got, and you know, but they still did away with an awful lot of hardship and work on farms throughout the country, and that really was the start of the movement forward.
Yes.
But I suppose that time then, if we had a Ferguson 20 with a side finger barrow, or it was the same as a big John Deere harvester.
Very same thing, yeah.
It was that much up from the horse and the rake out the back swap and all that, like.
Exactly, yeah. That was it. Which was a huge leap forward, and I often think, you know, that they were really wonderful people, you know, to change from the old horse equipment to the technology of the newer stuff, like, you know, most of them weren't mechanically minded because they never got a chance to be mechanically minded.
Yeah.
But they all adapted and they took it on board and they moved the thing forward, you know.
They did, it was,
And we did be talking about the move mobile phones and we can't follow them. They did a better thing, that and electricity.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It was a milestone.
A milestone,
in
absolutely.
history. But you know, considering that Cork Music Station is a global radio station, right? all over the world. It would be very interesting if listeners in different parts of the world, I'm sure that there must be vintage events happening in every different country, but to maybe make contact with our radio program there. Very interesting to hear international, dimensions in that
Exactly,
thing.
perspective on
Yeah.
the whole thing.
But the other one very important thing, when you were mentioning there about the wonderful facility and amenity that's there in the pitch and putt course there, the very fact that the actual town park committee was formed in 1958 and that they had the vision
Yeah,
to actually realize that this green area
the great potential.
must be kept for the people of the town.
Yes.
But
Because
wasn't that remarkably courageous in hungry times?
tremendous
You know,
altogether. And at that time, it was the Millstreet Coursing Club, the Millstreet. There was a number of but particularly it was they actually helped to establish what is now an amazing facility.
Fabulous, yeah.
Like when you think about
And the picturesque surroundings of Clara Mountain
That's right.
and the mountains back towards
Yeah.
Kerry. Like this morning I was walking around the park and Clara Mountain was clear, but the mountain beyond that was snow. There was snow on top
That
of
was
it.
Carbarna.
That's right.
You know,
Yeah.
and I asked the
Right.
question to someone, how come the snow isn't on Clara and it was on? And the person said, it's 250 meters higher than Clara.
Yeah.
And that's why the snow was on it.
And one of the strangest things that happens, it's great to have the actual walkway around the
Yes.
park. It's such a
big.
godsend.
Yeah.
But when you're at the side over near Green Glens, it's always windier on that side. And you wonder why.
Yes.
It's because of the actual gap in the mountains to the west. And there's a sort of a funnel created, and that on a windy day, it might be windy enough on one side, but it's like a hurricane almost at the other
I
side.
noticed that this morning, Sean.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I do notice some people, when they go into the park, instead of turning right like everyone does, they turn left. So they have the wind to the back.
It's a good point.
And when they come over the other side, they have the shelter of the trees then.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
so
Absolutely.
so they've been caught a couple of times and they've realised it.
Indeed. My goodness.
So that's about it. That's it. Will you have around the pitch and putt before they start doing on Sunday morning?
We will do afterwards.
We get business out of the way first
Yeah.
before pleasure.
So we might hold it a challenge. We can do the 5 crowd chunks into it.
It becomes sort of the dreams of that.
So that's we can do is thank you very much for taking the time out, and we wish you all the best on Sunday, and hope there'll be 60 more, no bother any to get it, keep it going.
Very good.
And thank you very much, Willie.
Yes, we do.
And continued success to you and the Cork Music Station.
Absolutely.
And of course, one royal guest that has been listening there, dedicated listeners, is Danny Tobin himself, who was on earlier with his wonderful show. Tuned into us there in Ballymcgilligan in the Kingdom of Kerry, and lots more wonderful people tuned in all over Millstreet, particularly at the moment.
So that's it, folks, and we wish you the best on Sunday. Now we're going to say good evening there to Mary Duggan, and for you, Mary.